Cardinal fans, welcome back to another edition of Cardinals Weekly. I'm Ahmad Hicks.
And I'm Miller and Ahmad. Not a whole lot of great stuff to talk about this week, but we got to talk about it nonetheless. This could be a place Cardinals fans come commiserate with us because it hasn't gone well. Let's get into it. Let's lead off here with our news segment, Leading Off. All right, Ahmad, I don't even know quite where to begin here, but we're going to kind of dive in. The Cardinals
How about two games
under 500 as we record this.
Or 9 games back of the Milwaukee Brewers.
That's crazy. That's the bigger thing that really strikes me when you look at the whole situation. When you look at the standings and the Cardinals are that far back halfway through the season. They got a minus 39 run differential. That's not good. That means they're getting outscored by almost 40 runs compared to their opponents. And if you watch the games, that sounds about right. I got to ask you, how would you describe the current vibe in the city of St. Louis right now?
Frustrated. This is a town that loves their Cardinals baseball, and they love winning baseball. What we're watching right now is not winning baseball, and all signs point towards mediocrity moving forward. I mean, there's no starting pitcher to be on the lookout for. Jack Flaherty is making progress, but he's still a ways away. There's no timetable on Miles Michaelis right now. I mean, where's your relief coming from? So if the panic button was right here, I wouldn't say smack it, but I would just have my hand hovering over it right now.
Well, that's me. I'm hitting it pretty hard because, like we just talked about, it's even more so not what the Cardinals are doing. It's what the Milwaukee Brewers are doing. And when you look at the shape of the National League, Cardinals aren't going to get a wild card spot.
No, they're not.
There's going to be three playoff teams from the West: the Dodgers, the Giants, and the Padres. It just depends what order that's going to be. So all the wild card spots are gone. You're going to have to win your division. And right now, Milwaukee looks like they're unstoppable. So if they're not going to lose, it really doesn't matter what the Cardinals do, even if they want to turn it around.
You know, Matt Carpenter said following the game against the Giants where he had a big triple and brought in 2 runs, he said that a lot of people may be panicking in St. Louis, but the season isn't over. He said that. He said the season isn't over, and they're optimistic that they can turn things around. But, Corey, I have to ask you a question. If Nolan Arenado continues to play the way that he plays, Paul Goldschmidt plays the way he plays, that's not enough, is it?
Well, no, and you need more from Paul Goldschmidt right now.
Absolutely.
And you need a little bit more power from Arenado. I mean, he's been your best player, so it's hard to really – it's not his fault.
No,
but
it's not.
Those two guys haven't been as
dominant,
great as everybody was hoping they would be, especially Goldschmidt. So the most depressing thing, the Cardinals were 8-16 in the month of June against teams that are not going to the playoffs as of right now. So they can't even beat the losing teams. They beat up on the Marlins and the Diamondbacks. Woo-hoo. But if you want to get excited about that, I guess, okay, good for you. But they're losing to the Indians and the Pirates. That Pirates series was brutal. Those games were just not fun to watch, and they lost 3 or 4, I'm pretty sure. They lost to the Tigers. They got swept by the Reds earlier in the month. The Cubs, who have lost 10 in a row now.
Just demolished them.
So, and they lost 3 or 4 to the Rockies.
You know, what's really more disappointing about that whole thing is the Cubs were atop the series. They were playing good baseball on this run, and we were like, man, how do we ever catch them? We need a break for them to lose. Of course, they start losing, and the Cardinals are like, well, we'll win 1, then we'll lose 2 more. Then it's like, it's just got to make things interesting. We're going to be talking about these games in June and July come September, I guarantee you.
I tell you, actually, that first game against the Giants, that was interesting.
That was a good game.
That was a good game, and let's move on a little bit. We're going to talk one positive. The starting pitching has been a little bit better.
A little bit.
I did not think Wade LeBlanc, I mean, he hasn't been Cy Young, but he's been, like, better than I thought he was going to be.
His earned run average coming to the Cardinals, I was like, wow, we're playing him in? But he hasn't been bad.
Yeah, he's been better than John Gant in the starter spot, I'll tell you that for sure.
Corey said
he's not going to walk 12 guys a game, so there's that. Adam Wainwright has still been Adam Wainwright. I think going forward, although we're not totally throwing in the towel or anything like that, it's the Cardinals, and we've seen them do some crazy stuff.
We have.
Going forward, if you want to look for something to have fun and be positive about, it's Adam Wainwright.
It is.
Because I think he's going to keep churning out good starts no matter how the team's playing. And who knows how many of these we're going to get. So every Adam Wainwright start, I think everybody should be tuning in for sure, even if you're pretty upset with the current overall product, which you should be.
I mean, to be one of the oldest players in the major leagues this year, but to still be performing at a high level like Waino is, tip your cap to him. All right. Without Waino right now, who knows if the Cardinals would even be 2 games below 500? They may be 10 or 12 games below 500. So we have to tip our hat to Waino. But you have to look at the rest of this roster and the bullpen. Corey, the bullpen is going to be fatigued by season's end if the starters keep this up.
Gallego, I mean, Schilt's been really, lately it seems like, pulling that Gallegos, Cabrera, Reyes. They're pulling that fast, even if there's a whiff of a chance they have a chance to win the game because they know they got to win all of them. There's only like 3 guys he can trust out there.
Which is not good.
Cabrera, Gallegos, and Reyes are going to be pretty tired folks by the end of this year.
Absolutely.
I'm thinking. I wanted to shout out KK because he was good against the Giants.
He was good, yeah. Great game.
I mean, we've seen him pitch well. He just doesn't go deep. He went deep, 7 innings for the first time this season, so that would be big. Carlos, of course, getting hurt now, and it looked like
he was starting to cruise.
Yeah, his game he got hurt in. Apparently, swinging the bat, he hurt his thumb. He was looking better than he had been.
Is that the 3rd pitcher this year that has injured themselves swinging the bat?
Flaherty, Carlos, somebody else?
It was Carlos the first time because he was trying to leg out a first.
So Carlos got hurt twice hitting, and Flaherty.
Somebody just tell Carlos to go up there and just stand at the plate and look at the baseball.
I tell you though, when he hit his first career homer like 2 years ago, that was fun.
Funny.
That was a lot of fun. Let's talk some. We're gonna stay positive.
Let's stay positive.
We're gonna stay positive. All-Star game coming up soon.
Cardinals
have 2.
Yes, let's go.
Cardinals have 2 All-Stars. We'll talk about Arenado first. Going back to Colorado to play the All-Star game. That's a lot of fun. You saw how much the fans appreciated him when the Cardinals played there just in a normal series. He's been their best offensive player this year for sure, especially with O'Neill really kind of leveling off. And, well, not totally due to his fault because he's getting hurt and things like that. But, yeah, Arenado definitely deserving. You want the biggest stars there. He's the biggest star on the Cardinals. I'm hoping he does the home run derby.
Think so?
He's been asked about it. I've seen. Well, they want the stars, and he would be great there coming back to Colorado. Listen, I think it'd be a lot of fun.
He would be a favorite.
I'm for. I think they've got it all filled up except for 2 spots right now. I'd think about a Shohei Ohtani, Nolan Arenado final at the home run derby. Now, I'd be watching that. That could end up being the highlight of the Cardinal season if they don't do anything
I'm biased. I'm an Arenado fan, but Ohtani is unreal.
Yes.
I don't think anybody beats him.
Shohei Ohtani should be in every sports show every single day around the country. Just Ohtani highlight. There should be an entire Ohtani channel because I can't get enough of this guy. I can't wait to see him pitch and hit in the All-Star game.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll get an at-bat against Alex Reyes.
Man,
I'm so excited for this because
Me too.
You know I'm a huge Alex Reyes guy. I've been pumping him up. He doesn't need any pumping up, but from top prospect, he was the best prospect in baseball. Gets hurt over and over again. And sometimes his own doing. He punched that wall, broke a finger, he's out for a while. Just setback after setback to finally see the guy that they've been waiting for. Awesome. Just a great story.
And I think the best part about Alex Reyes is we've all known he could do what he's doing right now. And I think for him, he's finally getting that opportunity where he's like, look, everybody's raving about what I'm doing. Everybody's excited. He's like, look, I can do this. I knew I could do this. I just had to get an opportunity, and I had to stay healthy, most importantly, which is good. So it makes you wonder, though, what's the limit going to be for him moving forward? Because if he's this good in the closer role, man.
You led right into where I was going. He's 20 for 20 in saves. He's got a 1.52 ERA. And like half of those runs this year came in this last game against
I was just
San
about to say he had a
Francisco.
0.92.
Well, he still got the save in that game, but gave up a couple runs. He'd be the best reliever in baseball if he could cut down on the walks. He leads the league in wild pitches, I'm pretty sure, as well. So every once in a while, it gets a little crazy for him, but he composes himself and shuts it down.
The game,
If Alex Reyes isn't in the rotation next year, there is a major problem.
Are we looking ahead to next season already, Corey? Is
no,
that what
but
we're doing?
you were leading me there with Alex Reyes and his
too.
future. So if he's not in the rotation next year, there's a huge problem because he's got too much talent to be wasted in the bullpen. Even if it's a high leverage spot, I know the closer. It's important, but you could probably find, well, not right now because the depth is not great, but normally you could find 4 guys who could close. You can't find a guy like Alex Reyes who could come out and start like that. So
you can't. And they may have a good time, an easy opportunity to put him in the lineup because Carlos Martinez is due $17 million next year, or he has a $500,000 buyout. So
yeah, there's going to be openings. Kim's a free agent. Carlos, I'm going to go out on a limb and say Carlos is not back.
Oh, you think so? I think if he finishes the season strong, the Cardinals bring him back. Because I think about that because life expectancy in baseball. He has a couple more years left.
He's still a young guy. He's been around for a long time, but he's still a young guy because he started so early.
Waino can only go one more year.
The only thing I would say is maybe they've been a little spooked this year by not having a whole lot of depth. And if Carlos isn't out there trying to chase more money in a bigger situation, maybe it works out. But I don't know. This seems like a relationship that's about to end.
You know what I like about what Carlos said prior to his last start? After Mike Shildt and the team sat him down, he sat down with Adam Wainwright, Yadier Molina. They told him he needed to focus with pitching coach Greg Maddux. He said, Mike Maddux, excuse me, yeah, we need to focus. He said that was the most focused he's ever been, before a start, which kind of scares me that you haven't been that dialed in and you've been pitching for a long time.
He's pitching some big games.
Yeah, like that kind of scares me. But the fact that he's locked in, he got the win, then he came out the next game through 4 strong innings before having to be pulled. Some hope. Optimism moving forward, maybe.
I like that. Okay. I like the optimism. Okay. Now we're gonna flip it, and we got to stare this right in the face. As of we're recording this on Tuesday, Cardinals have a 1% chance at making the playoffs, according to Baseball Reference. It was 2.5%, I think, on Fangraphs, so they like them a little bit more. Ahmad, is there any hope left, or is that about right?
Cardinal fans, I love you all, and I want you to keep watching this show. No, there's not. They're not going to the playoffs.
Oh, Ahmad, sticking a fork in the Cardinals.
They're not going to the playoffs. I'm sorry.
All right, I'll see you.
But look at the Central core. Milwaukee. This is a team. Christian Yelich. This guy, he missed part of this season, and he's still a dynamic baseball player. I do not see the Cardinals going to Milwaukee and beating them in 70% of the games that they play them for the rest of this season. I just do not see that happening, and they need a little bit of luck on their side, which means like a 10-game winning streak, and the Milwaukee Brewers should lose like 6 or 7 in a row or 8 out of 10. I don't see that happening right now. Not 10 in a row for the Cardinals winning, no.
So,
and they only how many runs do they average a game? Like
Cardinals, it's I don't know, like 2.5. It's really low. I'm going to stay a little bit more positive.
Of course he is.
A little bit more positive. Even if there was no chance, I'd still be watching baseball, so it doesn't matter. But the Brewers, I don't totally trust them yet.
Okay.
The lineup is not great. Okay. The lineup is not great. But I'll give their front office credit. They have shown that they're willing to go out and make moves to make it better. Yeah. They went and got Willy Adames from Tampa. He's been fantastic. They just got Rowdy Tellez from Toronto to fill in a void. So they're going for it, which I applaud them for going for it.
As you should.
The pitching staff has been dynamite there. I don't know if they can keep that. It's just there's still a lot of ifs with the Brewers. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. They go on a little, 6-7 game skid, and maybe it coincides with the Cardinals deciding to play. Listen, there's a lot of ifs and buts.
I'm about to say, I was waiting on him to finish. I was going to say he has a lot of ifs over there.
There's a lot of ifs and buts being thrown around here. But, and like we've said, the only chance here is the Central. Yeah. And the Brewers have to just totally tank. And I think there's a chance they do.
We'll find out a lot when they travel to the Cubs this weekend and they play the Cubs. If they can go to Chicago, take 2 or 3, okay, they have a chance. All right, get some momentum heading into the All-Star break. If they go there and lay another egg, it's over.
And they could put a nail in that Cubs coffin, and the Cubs could start selling off if the Cardinals really go up there and put them to rest.
We can only hope, though.
So on this week's Down on the Farm segment, we're going to talk about somebody we've already talked about, but we got to talk about him again because he's just tearing up the minor leagues and he's the talk of the Cardinal system.
He's so freaking good.
Jordan Walker.
Man.
He's a special guy so far from what we've seen. 19 years old. Yeah. He's 6'5", 240 pounds, Jeez. And he looks like it. I went over to Peoria where they just called him up.
Yeah, you look like a midget next to him.
I did. So he's hitting 374 at Palm Beach. So good. They had to call him up already. I went and talked to him, and I think fans are really going to like this guy. We're going to play here the 2 segments that aired with me and Jordan Walker so you guys can get to know him a little bit better. The first thing that strikes people about you is you already know where I'm going here. Yeah. You're 19 years old and your size. Just what are you at right now?
I'm around 6'5.5". Some said 6'5", some said 6'6". I think 6'5.5" is usually where I'm at. I weigh in about like 235, 240.
Okay.
Around there, yeah, every day.
You always been that big, or did you have like a growth spurt?
A growth spurt. My friends used to always get on me because my little sister used to be taller than me. And they were always getting on me, like calling me shorty and stuff like that. But I had a growth spurt, I think, around 9th, 10th grade, and I just grew.
Let's go back to growing up a bit in Georgia.
Right.
Just how much did you love baseball? Did you always want to be a professional?
When I was 3, actually, I think I was a little young, but my granddad cut a few strings. I played for his team, and ever since then, I just loved baseball. I slept with my glove, I slept with my bat. Everything was just, I think it was just right. And ever since growing up, I just, the baseball field was just a place I could relax my mind and just get away from school and anything else, any other problems I had. The baseball field was where it's at.
How often do you think about it now, even that you're getting closer and closer, and you just got called up within not even halfway through your first year?
I've always loved playing tough competition, whether it's hard throwers or people who throw to spots. It's just been my thing. I always thought that playing high school wasn't the best competition, but I always just thought playing kids who didn't throw very hard and didn't throw accurately, that didn't really do anything for me. I'm always looking to get better.
We're going to get to this a little later, but you just talked about facing top competition.
Right.
You faced the best pitcher in baseball when you were down
yeah.
What was that like?
It was quick. It was a quick at-bat, I'm going to say, but that was pretty cool. That's when it really clicked for me, like, the difference is they can throw any pitch they want, 4 strikes at any time, and I need to be able to adjust to hit it. So actually, that whole series we faced Noah Syndergaard, we faced Seth Lugo, and of course DeGrom. But it really got me wondering and thinking, like, this is what I need to do to get to the MLB, and that is my goal, to get to the MLB.
What was your reaction when you heard it was going to be the Cardinals and you got drafted? What did you know about them? You heard this organization's taking me. What's your first thoughts?
Well, the first thought about them was they win, like they're winners. So in the history, they've won plenty of times, like in plenty of big situations. So that's what I like. I like winning, honestly. So I've liked winning ever since I've grown up, and this is a perfect organization to be in if you want to be a winner, if you want to produce as a player.
Crazy to think about because he's a young guy as well, but you're just 19. Nolan Arenado is probably a guy you grew up watching.
Right. Most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
What do you take from his game?
Defense and hitting. That's really what I'm really working on my defense right now. My defense, I feel like, is a little bit behind my hitting right now. But he is the ideal third baseman that I want to be and I strive to be. Fielding. When there's a pitcher on the mound with Nolan Arenado behind him, they don't have to worry about a ground ball hit to third base because they know he's going to make the play. That's what I want to be. So he's just an idol, man. That's pretty much all I can say.
So you've been able to work with Jose Oquendo a lot. I think he's here right now.
Right now. Yeah.
You worked with him over the summer at the alternate site.
Right.
Just what kind of experience was that? And you said you wanted to work on your defense. That seems like the perfect
Mind-blowing. He recreated my whole – I thought I was good at defense before, but he showed me plenty other ways to be more consistent. The thing that with him is I trust him with any part of the game. It's not just fielding, but he's giving me tips on base running, hitting, on the approach and things like that. But mainly fielding though, and he's shown me, how to position my feet, not just mechanics of fielding either. He's shown me different situations I should be thinking about, where I should be on the cutoff, if it's hit to left field, knowing the outfielder's arms and things like that. So just the whole aspect of the game, it's so cool to see how much knowledge he can share with you, and I'm pretty excited to see what else he has in store for me.
Enormously exciting. I mean, like, you think of like players at that age that have put up those kind of numbers since I've been here. You probably would say Albert Pujols, and the other one would be Oscar Taveras. And, that's pretty high company or high cotton when you think about, like, what that means. And
that's the top guy in the organization.
Yes,
comparing
sir.
You to a future Hall of Famer,
yes,
one
sir.
of the 5 best players ever, and like the greatest prospect
Right.
this organization's ever had. What's that like?
I mean, it's pretty cool, honestly, to hear that come from him. But honestly, I try not to worry too much about that stuff being compared to other people or anything. I'm trying to focus on and be my own player. But who can't say that was pretty cool? Yeah, that was pretty cool, most definitely, and I'm glad to hear those words.
Have you visualized, you're only 19, there's possibly a long way to go, but have you visualized what stepping into the box at Busch Stadium might be like?
Plenty of times before I go to sleep. Just, A dream is a dream, so I can dream. I've actually had a couple of dreams about it sometimes, hitting a home run there in a big league game. But, like, who hasn't, you know? What kid hasn't? But plenty of times visualized it, the feel, facing some of the big arms and stuff like that. So I'm pretty excited to, you know, try to get there.
Finally, last thing. What do you want Cardinals fans to know about the kind of player, the kind of man you are? What kind of guy are you that you want people to know?
I think the one thing that I would say is laid back. I'm gonna work hard, try to get what I want, and I'm gonna control what I can control. I'm pretty laid back. It's not anything to, you know, worry over. If I'm putting in the work, then hopefully the results will show. So honestly, that's about it. That's my whole mentality. It's just trying to get to the next level every time.
Who was your favorite player growing up?
Chipper Jones. From Atlanta, third baseman, one of the greats, Hall of Famer.
Who in today's game do you think of a comp for you?
Maybe Chris Bryant.
Okay.
I would say Chris Bryant. I remember having the same stance as him and kind of like the same build.
No baseball in this world. What do you think you would have done with yourself?
Basketball.
Basketball?
Yeah, that's my second one. Or ping pong. I was actually pretty good on the ping pong table, so I think so. That's where I can be confident and cocky.
What's something that fans don't know about you that you maybe like them to know about you?
I gotta put on my right sock before I put on my left sock. It's just a thing. I don't know why. I can feel when I put my left sock on before my right sock. I did piano for 8 years, but I've stopped for 2 years. So if you give me like 3 days, I can play a good song for you. I swam growing up as well.
What's your favorite thing to do when you're not playing baseball?
When I'm not playing baseball, PS5, my friends, definitely. Call of Duty, MLB The Show, 2K, Fortnite, any of them I played.
Have you created yourself on MLB The Show yet?
I have created myself, yes. It's been pretty cool. I love, you know, playing MLB The Show.
What sliders did you put yourself on?
I put power up first. I put power up first. That's the thing I'm most confident in is power, so.
All right, now that we saw that interview, I have a question for you, Corey.
Yeah.
If Jordan Walker were to come up to the big leagues this year,
Ooh.
how many home runs would he hit?
And the big leagues?
Big leagues.
Like how many games?
So let's say he plays the second half of the season, 81 games.
Well, that's definitely not going to happen. But
I know, yeah, this won't happen. This is
hypothetical.
Hypothetical.
I think in the big leagues right now, half a season, I'm not going to go too crazy. I think he'd hit maybe 12.
I said 10, so
I think he hit 10 or 12.
The future is bright. If he could come up and do that this year, Corey thinks, just wait for 2 to 3 more years.
He did face Jacob deGrom, as you guys saw in one of those pieces. He faced deGrom when deGrom was on a rehab assignment, and it did not go well for him.
It doesn't go well for a lot of batters against
That's
deGrom,
true.
though.
But
okay?
he said he learned a lot from that, and he said, okay, this is what it's going to take to hit at the major league level. Guys can put it wherever they want, any pitch they want, wherever they want at any time. So he's definitely got a good head on his shoulders, and
he's focused.
He's
determined. He's motivated. He'll be here soon, and we all cannot wait.
Excited.
Think about how young and good this team can be. We're looking ahead at the future. I know, sorry guys, but Carlson, Walker, Wynn. Oh my.
Mason Wynn. I asked him about Mason Wynn too. That wasn't in the interview, but he said Mason Wynn, we could have our own little Ohtani possibly. So.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah, we're looking ahead here.
This season is hard to watch.
Ahmad stuck a fork in the 2021 Cardinals, so I'm talking prospects.
Mosaic nearly did the same, so hey. He said they can't win every year, so. So as you all saw, not a lot of positives to talk about, but we still had some fun up here, and be sure to join us next week for another edition of Cardinals Weekly. For Corey Miller, I'm Ahmad Hicks. Have a great week.